Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. All right. Let's get started. So first question is, see that there's a couple of you guys on here. Are you guys new to this series? This is our 10th one we've done, and I tend to do a little review, but then I add the new stuff as well. So if we've got more new people on here, then I'll make sure to go over some of the stuff that I've talked about in some of the other episodes, if you will. Otherwise, the main part of this topic today is we've been focusing on the kind of impact that you have with your volunteering and your authorizing and stuff that you can even do from home. That's how this whole thing started with COVID, but it's really expanded into helping you have a better sense of what your volunteer time can do to help you build, your resume for not only job, but for college and scholarships and just in general. And now we're going to talk about that general part even more on what it can do for you personally and kind of the bigger impact that you have when you volunteer. And that really goes kind of unappreciated and not talked about very often. So, welcome, first timer. So thank you. So again, we've been having a lot of fun doing these sessions and these different series and trying to bring something new to the table, if you will, every time that we have this. So we've been doing this, again, this is our 10th time, every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and kind of go through some high points and then bring on new information. So hello, I'm Nicole. I'm the founder of Let's Thrive 360, which created the Authorize app, and we're here to talk about how you can have an impact. A little bit of background on us and on the company is our mission is to help people be better intentionally. I cannot describe to you how mind-blowing it is to me that is our mission and has been our mission for over 2 years now, as far as the company goes, and how profound it is that we're in the situation we are in our country, that we really need to have people start being better. And it's all built on the premise that if for us to be better at anything, we have to do it more often and be intentional about it. So if you want to become a better reader, you have to read more. If you want to become a better runner, you have to run more. What if to be better people, we actually have to be that intentional about it? So kind of think of us as the Fitbit for your altruism, if that gives you kind of an idea of where we're going with that. So with that, we use the word altruism is at the core of our mission and who we are as a company. It's a word that's not used very often. It means to be more concerned with somebody else's well-being than you are for your own. That's really powerful. And it's usually expressed through volunteerism, but that's not the only way to show altruism and to be altruistic. So our app is called Authorize because it actually means to exercise your altruism. So to be purposeful about it, kind of like our brain is a muscle. You've got to read more to make it stronger. Your muscles, you got to weight train to make them stronger. Again, what if we actually are training and trying to be intentional about being better and getting stronger and better at it? So that's kind of who we are in a nutshell. So I'm going to review a little bit for the first timers. So what we've talked about in the last few episodes have been really honed in on why and how the volunteering can be used to not only for the sake of volunteering, but how it can be best then positioned for your college applications, for your scholarship opportunities, and even for the jobs and careers that you're going into. And I highly encourage you to check out those episodes if you are interested. We've got, I think most of them are posted on our YouTube channel. I'd have to double check. So quick overview of just some of the highlights that we've done. So when it comes for your job search, a person who's got volunteer activities on their resume has a 27% higher chance of getting that job. And that increases up to 55% if you're in a rural area. So again, and why is that? We've talked about that. It's because it's an opportunity for that person that's hiring you to see that you have what are called soft skills, that you show up on time, that you can get along with others, that you fit into that organization's, that nonprofit's, working environment, right? And it also shows a skill development. So if there's certain skills that they would really like candidates to come in with that they don't have to train for, that's huge. That's a time saver for them. So if you were able to get skilled on Google Docs, for example, while volunteering, that's one less thing that they've got to train you for. Awesome. So college admissions. This one's a big one for you guys. It's that 61% of college admissions officials use this data point, the volunteer data, as a tiebreaker. That's pretty intense, especially since there's really nothing out there that standardizes what that means to have verified volunteer hours. So that's something that the Authorize app aims to do, is help everybody be on the same, kind of speaking the same language when they're turning in their volunteer transcripts. Again, it's too important of a data point and has too much of an effect not to make sure that it gets standardized. And then the scholarships, same thing with that. There's about $19 billion worth of scholarships just waiting for people to apply and gain access to. And the vast majority need community service hours to make you part of the running. There's quite a few out there, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, but we have our ebook about scholarships that are focused primarily on community service and do not weigh as heavy on the GPA. So it allows for people that, if school's really not your strong suit as far as the book work, but you can show off your skills and your commitment to the community, these scholarships will help you financially get through, go to the college, and most of them will do 2-year and 4-year, depending on. So really important there. So that's kind of why you've been doing these, or good reason to think about what you're doing and the skill development that you're learning. So this is kind of a great example of how people mostly think about volunteering. They don't really think about it as I'm going to go there to learn a new skill or to have something really cool on a resume. Most of them are like, I'm going to move boxes, right? I'm going to lick envelopes, or, I'm going to make a few phone calls, or they tend to be sometimes very dry, boring, just have to get stuff done, need hands to accomplish the task type duties. So why should you still be volunteering? And raking leaves, exactly. That's a great example. Why should you volunteer? Where's kind of a bigger, why would raking the leaves or moving the boxes, like why is that still important? So this is the deeper impact that you as a volunteer are having on nonprofits. Did you know that the volunteer hour is worth over $25 an hour to a nonprofit? I know, mind-blowing. So what you're doing is you're helping that nonprofit save over $25 an hour by moving boxes, by raking leaves, by stuffing envelopes, by doing data entry. And you go, my gosh, why is it so much? It's over the minimum wage even. Well, a lot goes into the factoring of this number, but some of it has to do with the combination of what would they pay to have that particular job done? Like, what would somebody get paid to do that job? The other piece of that is the person giving their time to do that. What could that person be making in their own job, in their own profession? But they're donating their time to the nonprofit, if that makes sense. And a lot of these hours too are factored in with attorneys that are doing pro bono work, doctors that are giving free advice on maybe a daycare's, health needs or their HIPAA forms. So again, depending on what the need is, so a lot of factors go into that, but still, the amount of money that you're helping the nonprofit save and actually redirect to their mission to help the people in need, to help the mission that they've got, that they're tasked with, is huge. So keep that in mind. You're not just moving boxes. You're really saving money. You're not just raking the leaves. You're really helping them with their mission, because now they can use the funds where they're most needed in their mission. So keep that in mind. The other piece of this is volunteers are more often to become then financial donors as well. And honestly, if you think about it, that's really smart, right? Instead of just donating to an organization to donate because you like the cause, because you hear it's a good cause, the fact that you've had hands-on working with that organization, that nonprofit, makes more sense than that you would hopefully also then financially support that nonprofit or tell others or help, and be active in that role. Because hopefully your experience with that nonprofit is such that you totally see now the bigger picture of what they're trying to do with their mission, and that they're very obvious about that, and they're sharing that with you, and you want to share that with others. So that's the deeper impact that your volunteering has, that goes beyond that superficial, just what you see, and can really dive deep into the root of the nonprofit and where they're trying to expand and have an impact even more so in your community. And then you go, well, what's the deeper impact for you? Honestly, it's all the emotions. It's amazing what volunteering can truly do, especially if you connect with one that is with your passion and a cause that you really believe in and want to connect with. Multiple studies have shown it decreases anger, it decreases anxiety, it brings out joy. It helps to curb the judgmental side of us humans, because you are helping someone in need that maybe you judge them a certain way. And once you finally get to actually meet them or understand the cause and be a part of it in a deeper level, it allows you to connect, and you take away the stigma and any prejudice that you might have had with that group. And then it's been shown also to reduce depression and sadness in general. But it's a really huge emotional boost. And to me personally, it's what gives us our humanity. It's what that warm, fuzzy feeling that you get after volunteering, because you feel good, like it felt good to volunteer, to rake, to stuff envelopes, to give food to somebody that desperately needed it. It speaks to your soul, and it's what allows you to know that's why you're on this earth. That's why we're human, and we've got this powerful ability to exchange that with one another. So that's how it just helps you as a person dive a little deeper into humanity. So as you get started with this, there are some meaningful steps that need to be taken to altruize, to exercise your altruism. So, first you've got to start. You have to start and set up a goal. Set a goal. That's the first step, because it means you're being purposeful. Next, you've got to track it. You've got to make sure that you're holding yourself accountable. And you can really only do that if you're tracking that goal, right? Next, of course, make sure it's altruistic. What aspects of it are part of your passion? Like, what are you hoping to gain from it for your humanity? Like, what part of it is important to you, and that's why you're doing it. So that's kind of your purpose. Absolutely make sure it's realistic. with your goal and you're tracking it, there should be some sort of time frame in there that you're trying to maybe accomplish so many hours in such a time frame or whatever. Make sure it's realistic. I can't not stress that enough, because you don't want to feel like you didn't actually get to your goal and here the whole time it was because it wasn't realistic. Oh no. Okay, is anybody else having problems with the live stream? I'm gonna keep going. By the way, if you have questions, make sure you ask them in the ask a question, just so I don't miss it, because sometimes I'll miss the stuff on the side. It loaded a little for me a few minutes before. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to keep going, if that's all right. Forgot where I'm at. Oh, realistic. So yeah, so make sure it's realistic. My daughter made the comment. Aw. All right. I'm just asking if he can hear me. Because I can. I'm going to keep going. All right, so being realistic with it. Next is make sure you're telling other people. This is another way to basically hold yourself accountable. And you'll be able to see how well you did with that goal. So if you don't mind, Reem just commented. Oops. All right. Yeah, if anybody also has problems with this, I can definitely make sure you guys get a link. Again, it should be on our YouTube, but just in case, if you want to send me your email, I put the email there. All right. So I mentioned the Authorize app. So we created the Authorize app for the exact purpose way before all of this was going on, that we wanted people to be better intentionally. And now it's more important than ever, period. So the Authorize app, free to download. I encourage you to download it. This is what it'll help you guys do. You are able to put your goals in there. So not only your personal goals, but if you've got any requirements from any organizations that you're in. So if your school, any clubs you're in, can all go in there as well. So you've got them all in one area. And then you can actually get everything verified on the app as well. So you can have all of your data in one spot, no more pieces of paper, ditch the paper, and you're able to get this verified right through the app, through the nonprofit, through an internship that you're doing, even an individual. So if you've been raking leaves and you want to get kind of credit for that and have that on your volunteer transcript, you can do that through the Authorize app. And then when you're ready to use it for a bigger, better purpose, you can grab a report token for a fee and actually have your reports all beautiful and the volunteer transcripts ready to go. And then there's a couple things that I wanted to point out as well. Off to the left there is that skill development profile. We talked about that, how that's important for specifically job resume building, and then even for college applications too, if you want to show that you're trying to go into a certain field. And then the journaling feature is really important for any of you that are going to be applying to colleges and or scholarships that have essays. You do not want to have to try to remember what you did freshman year, sophomore year, last week. So this gives you the opportunity just to capture it right then and there, capture your experience, what you're feeling about it, all that stuff, so that when you're ready to read it, do an essay, you're good to go. Okay. Another thing I wanted to bring up is we've got our Authorizing Ambassador program. We are going to be kicking off our very first Zoom meeting on Wednesday. So we still, if you are still available or interested in becoming an Authorized Ambassador with us, we invite you to fill out the form and see if that's, again, realistic for you and work. Obviously, there would be verifiable credits for your volunteer transcript that we would do through the app if you're a part of the Authorized Ambassador group. Mostly, we really want it to be fun and impactful, and we really want that to, yay, welcome back. So with the Authorized Ambassador program, we really are looking for students that are really want to be active in the community, and more than that, help others to be active in the community too, and to exercise your altruism. And because sometimes people just have to be asked to be a part of it. So again, want it to be fun, want it to be impactful. The current Authorized Ambassadors that we have already have gotten to look at the scholarship ebook. We said we'd send that out for them to get first peek at, so they have. And we're hoping to have that available to all of you that have been viewing live here on Fiveable this last 10 weeks. We'll be sending it out to you guys hopefully by Friday. That's our goal. And again, though, if you wanted to be part of our very first Zoom meeting for our Authorized Ambassadors, we'd love to have you. I'll have all the links that I've got and some of the information that I've shared even earlier on. I'll share those links in the comments at the end. So stick around so you can grab the links and you can find out some more information about our ambassador program. So we're super excited for that. I'm super excited for that. If you guys want to share anything, now's a great time to do that. If there's anything you guys have been up to as far as, how your volunteer opportunities have changed, how you've decided to view your altruism and authorizing for any of you that are coming back again. If any of you have downloaded the app, if you've used it, I'd be curious to hear how, your kind of first authorized experience was. That'd be kind of neat. So yeah, and feel free to reach out as well. Great question. So the Zoom meeting is for those that have already agreed to be authorizing ambassadors. So there's a couple of quick pro quos, as it's called. So there's an agreement that you need to sign because our goal is to offer some great leadership and incentives, and also the volunteer opportunity through Authorize. And then there's some expectations from you as ambassadors to make sure that you're holding up the brand and you're being true to your word about wanting to be a part of the community and authorizing and being active that way. So when you sign up, we'll send you all that stuff to look at. And if it's something that you're like, yeah, totally can do this, then go ahead and sign up. If it's something you go, not feeling it, no worries. We still are excited that you came to this and are listening and getting some good information, hopefully. And and we know you'll be authorizing, hopefully anyway, and getting the word out there. So yeah. The one thing that I wanted to point out is our authorized ambassadors who actually they're Tamir was one of our first Authorized ambassadors, and he started a great fundraiser for a local food pantry in his area called, so they were selling t-shirts. So I'm going to see if I can stand up and do this. Here's my t-shirt, all backwards for you. So, but they're halfway to their goal almost of raising $2,500 for their local food pantry. And this was something they did all obviously from home during quarantine. And he'll be on the call on Wednesday, tomorrow. And so I'm excited to ask him some of the bumps in the road they had as well, trying to get this off the ground. Some of the things then that we've been doing. So we've got a new interview. That's another thing that I try to do every week. Not try, so far we've been doing it, is interviewing different people to give you guys a different perspective on the topic that we've talked about. This week's interview actually came from me being interviewed along with people from March of Dimes, because March of Dimes has a great partnership with us for any of you out there that are looking for verified volunteer time from a reputable nonprofit like March of Dimes. So this is the National March of Dimes. They have their mask making challenge, and they still have it going on because many different regions of the country still are requiring masks. You do not need to sew. It requires like old t-shirts and rubber bands. Very bare basic, but it's something to help just people at least get by so they can get out in the community if they need to go to the doctors or whatever the case may be. So anyway, so check that out so that you have an opportunity to make those masks. And then through the Authorize app, you can get it verified. And that's the National March of Dimes that's doing that. And they've got all their information there. So anyway, so the interview is a little bit more detailed about myself and again, why Authorize exists. And then March of Dimes, if you're not familiar with that nonprofit, they're amazing. You'll get to hear their backstory and actually hear from a volunteer directly. And you can get a really more in-depth viewpoint from a volunteer and why their passion and situation is important for them to volunteer for the March of Dimes. So, yeah, woofda. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Let me grab the links right now. And again, if you've got any questions, go ahead and ask. I won't be able to see it right away because I'm going to go grab the links. All right, so there are all the links. I see there's a question. Great question. So the Authorize app creates volunteer transcripts for you. So everything, all the stuff that you're doing can be housed in one app instead of, again, with those pieces of paper kind of going all over the place. And then when it comes to Authorize ambassadors, yes, we also then will provide a letter of recommendation and give a little background to that college admissions officials along with that on what being an Authorize ambassador entails, what, what you did above and beyond even the volunteering pieces that would show up in the Authorize app as well. So good question. Anything else that I can answer? And please reach out if you think of any more questions. Totally fine. No, the transcripts do not only apply for people who are ambassadors, not at all. So the Authorize app was created so that volunteers can track, verify, and maintain their own data on a digital platform without the paperwork. So it's really for anybody who wants to be able to do that. And it's free to download the app. It's free to authorize, which means to be able to go volunteer, to get that verified through the app, and have all that information to do the journaling, have all that information in one location. There's only a fee when you're ready to download your volunteer transcript. And when you do that, it's just a one-time fee to download that data and create as many different volunteer transcripts with different data sets that you want. So, and then if you're an Authorized ambassador, you actually get that capability free once a year. So that's another benefit of being an Authorized ambassador as well. You're very welcome. Thank you. Well, help get the word out, Reem. And if you're interested in being an Authorized ambassador, we'd love to have you. Again, the information is in the comments for the links. And if you sign up before our meeting tomorrow is noon Central Standard Time on Zoom. So if you can, if you're interested and you can sign up before like 11 Central Time, then I'd be able to get the link out to you and you can join us for our first meeting too. So we'd love to have you. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. If there's nothing else, I'll close this one out. We'll be having another one next week. I'm in talks with somebody right now on a platform where they focus on helping you develop your leadership skills. They have a new program coming out. I'm seeing if I can't get you guys a discount for attending. So that's my little teaser information on that. So I'm still trying to get that settled. So look for the emails about next week's, and hopefully we'll have that nailed down and you can join then too. All right. Thanks, guys. Oh, I almost canceled or stopped the meeting. Yeah, the Zoom meeting is okay, did it start up again? It should have started up again. Anybody there? Okay, you can hear me. So the Zoom meeting is one of the things that we do with our Authorized ambassadors just once a month. It's a chance for us to discuss kind of different volunteer opportunities, like what everybody's doing, how maybe you could help each other. It's kind of a mastermind group, if you will. Great time for you guys to check in with other peers, and it's a great networking opportunity because this is people from around the country, and it's going to be a great opportunity for us as from Authorize to we want to hear from you guys as far as the app goes, as far as what you're doing, how we can help support you, if there's anything that we can help you with. This is a huge mission and goal for Authorize to help people be better intentionally, and we don't take it lightly. So so the first one of its kind is tomorrow, and if you're able to join, that'd be great. So, all right. Reach out to me if you have any other questions. Thanks.